Hi, in this video, we'll talk about sharing forms and getting them ready so that you can collect responses. So now that you've added all of your questions, picture sections, and more, you want to take one last preview of the form to see that it meets your needs. In order to do that, you can go to the preview icon in the upper right-hand corner and select it to see how your questions look. Is everything in the right order? Okay, is the wording correct? Did you forget anything? Okay, looks great. One other thing you need to do, and you're going to go back to the edit form, is you need to indicate how you're going to collect responses. So I haven't really talked about these two headings up here, but one is questions and one is responses. So we've been on the questions option the whole time in all the videos. I'm going to click on responses, and it's currently showing me that 0 people have responded. No one has responded. This is set to accept responses. So right now, if I gave the link to the form, which I'll talk about in a shorter while in the same video, they would be able to submit a response. You can turn that off to stop accepting responses. Good practice is to create a spreadsheet to collect the responses. So I'm going to click on this, and it gives me two options. One, I could create a new spreadsheet just for the responses and give it a name. It's named after the form itself with the responses in parentheses, or I can actually put the answers in an existing spreadsheet, and then I would have to go and select on the next step. I'm going to create a new spreadsheet and then take note what it's called, Sample Quiz Responses, and click on Create. And what it did was it took me to the spreadsheet where all of the responses are going to populate once you give out the form and people start submitting it. So all of the questions, including the timestamp, the username, since I'm opting to get that information when the person enters in their response, here are the questions. And it's in each column that you're going to see them. So that's important to note where this is. I would put the spreadsheet in the same folder or same area as the form itself because they go together. Under the 3 dots, this allows you to select the response destination again. You can unlink the form from that spreadsheet and say you want to collect answers now in a separate spreadsheet. You could unlink it from the spreadsheet I just created and then create a new one. I could download the responses that I get from people in a CSV file. And I could also delete all the responses. So say I did a lot of test responses, but then I want to get rid of those fake responses. I could delete them all out before I give the link out to somebody. So that's how you get your quiz ready for people to respond to it. So the next step is actually giving out the link. Well, as I did before to preview it, when I clicked on preview, this link up in the URL area of your browser, you could send this link to someone in an email, for example, and they would be able to take it. Another way of sharing it, I'm going to click on the edit button to get back to the edit, is I could use the send button. And it's this button in the upper right-hand corner. I click on it. It gives me another chance to set some parameters and also gives me these ways of sending this form out. So I can email it. So I would type the person's email address, subject. I could have a custom message. I can carbon the form to myself and also include the form right in the email so they don't have to actually click to get to a website. That's pretty handy. You could get the link from this area as well. This is the same link as when you go to the preview mode. And in this case, if I go to the send button to get the link, I can use a shortened URL. So I can get a shorter URL for the link to share with others. And then I have the embed code. So if you know that you would want to embed it on a web page, it gives you the iframe source code and it gives you the parameters here. You can customize the width and height of how the form will look on the web page. And I also have the social media icons as well. So that would be one way of doing it, or actually a number of ways of doing it. What I would also mention is that you could share this form in your Google Classroom or on a Google site. So if I go to a Google Classroom, here's my test classroom. I'm going to put this form in the Google Classroom and I'm going to add it as an assignment. So I'm going to click on the plus sign, create the assignment, and then give it a name. There are directions there. I'd want to click on this Google Drive icon and then look for the quiz in my Google Drive. So it's going to be down here. Here it is, the sample quiz. Click on Add. And then I assign it. So it gives you a handy way of keeping track of whether people have taken the quiz. Another way of doing it is to put it on a Google site. Here's an older Google site that I have. And if I wanted to put the quiz or put the form, whatever it's going to be used for, in a web page, I could click on the Edit page. Again, this is Google Sites. Insert, Drive, and then pick Form. It's going to filter out all my forms. There's a sample quiz. I'm going to select it. It gives me the option of having a border, the title, the height and width. I'm just going to click on Save. And then I need to save this in order to see the form in the page. I might make it a little bit wider. But here it is. So you could direct your students to go to your Google site, and they could literally take the quiz. Now, they would be prompted to sign into it. I don't have a specific recommendation on how to share it, but Google Classroom does a pretty good job of it. Okay, and lastly, if you wanted to share this form so that someone could edit the questions with you, there is a way of doing that, and you can do it from the Send button or from the three dots. I'll show you the three dots. You can add collaborators. So if you want someone to help you with adding questions, you would invite them here, just like a Google Doc, and then send. And then basically they will be able to get into the form to edit the questions with you. So that's how you get ready to accept responses on your form and share your form with others. Thanks for watching.